Test, test, test. Good afternoon. My name is Chief. That and not to victim further below. While this process was occurring, I notified the state police tactical unit, and they responded with their whole staff to include the crisis negotiation team. We did obtain those warrants. Negotiators attempted to make contact with Mr. Landry via email. It was the only way we could contact him and only way we could talk to him. This is the first time that the crisis negotiation team has ever negotiated through the use of email, is my understanding. Landy has been arrested after a standoff until approximately 2:15 this afternoon. He turned himself in voluntarily to police. That would have been the state police tactical team, and was taken into custody without incident. He has since been transported by the Buxton Police Department directly to the York County Jail. He has been charged with domestic violence aggravated assault, which is a Class B crime, as well as violating conditions of release for entering the town of Buxton and having contact with the victim, and not in that order necessarily. I want to thank the Maine State Police Troop A, the Maine State Police TAC team, their crisis negotiation team, the Gorham Police Department, the Cumberland County Police Department, the York County, Cumberland County Sheriff's Department, and the York County Sheriff's Department for their participation. Their assistance was crucial to a peaceful resolution to this incident. I'll take your questions now.
Was the woman in danger when you got there at all?
When the officer arrived on scene, the first officer to get on scene was a Cumberland County deputy. She was sitting on the front porch. When I spoke to her this morning, got there shortly after 7, she did have evidence of an assault having taken place.
Was he armed, did you say? You said he had a knife. Did you see a knife? Was there a knife in the shed where he was found? Or?
There was no knife that was visible. The mere threat of that, he has used a knife in the past for his previous crimes.
There were no other weapons at the residence?
No other weapons found at the residence. He had been hiding in a hiding place in the rafters, is my understanding. Knowing that the state police tactical team wasn't going anywhere, he decided to turn himself in.
It sounds like there's a history with him and possibly even that house, correct?
Yes.
What is that history?
The history is that back in October, I arrested him for the very same type of conduct: aggravated domestic violence assault, also some violation of conditions of release at that time. This gentleman came back to the state of Maine within the last week, is our understanding, and made contact with the victim.
What's your message to the community after a day like this? I know you had schools kind of on alert. A lot of people in the area couldn't get back to their homes.
We understand that a situation like this is very inconveniencing when you have roads shut off. Main roads like Route 112 or Parker Farm Road and the Long Plains Road or Route 22, that's a main thoroughfare through our town. Every one of the businesses at the three corners of that intersection were impacted by this man's actions. It's always in our, every time we deal with a situation like this, public safety is of the utmost importance. We knew that we had the victim safely out of the residence, but we needed to ask residents in that area to either leave or to shelter in place. They were very cooperative, but we did deal with some frustrated motorists. If an officer tells you you can't go down a road and you continue to ask them questions about how do I get to my destination, the officer is playing a dual role at that point. They're not just blocking the road, they're also watching for the suspect. And I would just ask for patience and understanding that, we know it impacts people's lives, but again, in the interest of public safety, we need to keep folks away from that area.
But glad it ended the way it did.
Thank you.
So did he surrender, or did you just find him in the shed?
He surrendered. He knew through negotiations with the crisis negotiation team, who did a phenomenal job, he knew that we weren't going anywhere. And he ended up sticking his head out of the shed at one point and was seen by the TAC team. And at that point, he had no choice but to give up.
In a situation like this, though, you're glad that you got the resolution you did?
Whenever we have a suspect in custody without incident, it's a good day for the police department, and it's a good day for the citizens of Buxton. Any other questions? Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.